I was like frustrated, depressed. Everything has happened with me at that point in time, right? So then father asked me, boss, this is not your cup of tea, right? You just do the graduate and then we will look for your job and further ask, right? Then I was forced to quit because otherwise my father told me, if you don't quit, then you will lose your commerce as well. It has happened. My father has handed over my CV to a couple of partners and they just said, then sab dekhenge. Right? So आज दिन तक वो मेरी आंखों के सामने से जाता नहीं है वो वाला scenario. Within commerce, it took me around 6 months to understand what is debtor, what is debit. Right? What is the difference between these two words? Which is the very basics of commerce, which is the very basics of accounting. But I was struggling to understand these two words at that point in time. There was no other path available for me, right? So it's not a chosen path; it's a forced path for me. I had to drop CA. People used to say smart work, but I would say the background of the smart work is nothing but a hard work. If you know hard work, you can justify your path, you can make your path yourself. That will lead to the smart work, right? But hard work is necessary. Intelligence can fail, but hard work never fails. In the November, I was enrolled for CA inter examination 2006. Right? That was the starting point. I have got only 5 months to start, to prepare, and to conclude. Intermediate. Those 4.5 or 5 months, I don't know when the sun has risen and when the lights off. Struggling, reading, studying, and everything. Right? I was not aware of the outside life. I came to know the result is coming out on 11th of January 2007. And when I reached Katra, on the same day, I got a call from my father because he was in the institute. Right? So he called me, boss, तुम्हारा clear हो गया CA.
Wow, wonderful.
Right? So that was a moment which I could not explain right in front of anyone. That was a turning point. Right? The person who have never scored more than 60% in 10th, 11th and past period, first time 82% marks, graduation dropped out in CA.
Wow.
Right? I have cleared in 4.5 or 5 months in CA inter, I would say.
तो आज ना तुम्हें एक पते की बात बताता हूँ। चार्ट अकाउंटेंसी कोर्स कंप्लीट करने के बाद तुम्हारे पास बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस होंगे, बहुत सारी राहें होंगी, बहुत सारे पाथ्स होंगे जो तुम परस्यू कर सकते हो। ऑब्वियस सी बात है, तुम अपने लिए उन सब राहों में से बेस्ट राह चूज करने में इंटरेस्टेड रहोगे। जो भी तुम्हारे लिए बेस्ट है, जो तुम्हें लगता है कि ल्यूक्रेटिव होगा, फ्यूचर में रेम्यूनरेटिव होगा और तुमको एक बहुत अच्छी ग्रोथ अपॉर्चुनिटी, ग्रोथ सिनारियो दे रहा हो। आज मैं आप सबको मिलवाने जा रहा हूं एक ऐसे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट से जिसने जी हां अपने लिए बेस्ट पाथ चूज किया और आज वो सफलता की ऊंचाइयों पर बैठा है। जी हां, बिग फोर्स, तो जो बिग फोर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी फर्म्स हैं जो इंडिया में ही नहीं वर्ल्ड में अपना नाम रखती हैं, उनके डायरेक्टर से आज हम मिलने जा रहे हैं। विद अ राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज, लेट्स वेलकम मिस्टर अमित जैन, डायरेक्टर एट Ernst And Young.
Hi, hello guys.
Thank you so much, Amit, for taking out time.
Thank you, Nikkhil, for calling me here to express my views for the fraternity of chartered accountants, for the fraternity of ICMAI students. Thank you so much.
Yes. So, Amit, हम सब eagerly wait कर रहे हैं तुमसे सुनने के लिए, क्योंकि बहुत सारे ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स हैं इंडिया में जो अभी सीए कर रहे हैं और शायद कुछ ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिन्होंने फ्रेशली सीए क्वालिफाई किया है। सभी जानना चाहते हैं कौन सी फील्ड अच्छी है, कौन सी फील्ड बुरी है, सर हमें ऑडिट में जाना चाहिए, सर हमें टैक्सेशन में जाना चाहिए, एडवाइजरी में जाना चाहिए। सबके इस समय दिमाग एकदम कंफ्यूज्ड स्टेट में है। तो मैं तुमसे जानना चाहता हूं कि इनिशियली जब सीए का दिल में ख्याल आया तो वो क्यों आया, वो क्या करने के लिए आया और उसका पर्पस क्या था?
So, जो ख्याल वर्ड यूज किया निखिल आपने, राइट, सो दैट वाज नॉट द केस इन माय सिनेरियो, राइट। सो इफ आई स्टार्ट लुकिंग एट 20 years ago what I was doing in my school classes, so I was a very dumb student, right? I was very disciplined, but I was very dumb. I never got more than 60% marks in the entire career of my school.
Unbelievable.
Right? If I remember correctly, in 10th class I got 60% marks, right? And I got lots of challenges from my family perspective, from my friends perspective, that because they've been excelling as compared to me, right? So I was facing lots of challenge at that point in time, right? And my father used to do job in Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, right? He has joined in 1982 as a LDC. LDC stands for Lower Divisional Clerk. Like he was a typist at that point in time. So he has joined ICI at that point in time as a typist, right? So that was a challenge for me because I don't know at that point in time what to do, what not to do, right? But thankfully I got commerce, right? And within commerce, it took me around 6 months to understand what is debtor, what is debit, right? What is the difference between these two words, which is a very basics of commerce, which is the very basics of accounting. But I was struggling to understand these two words at that point in time, right? So that was very clear at that perspective that I should be only moving towards CA. There was no other option available for me because my father from that background, he was not a chartered accountant, right? So but he was in that direction, right? So there was no other path available for me, right? So it's not a chosen path, it's a forced path for me because circumstances was like that, right? So I was not having that level of benefits because of some other challenges we have in that family and couple of other factors. So it's not a chosen path, it's a forced path for me.
Perfect. So guys, एक बहुत important चीज मैं यहाँ पर आप सबको बताना चाहता हूँ. आपने सुना अमित ने क्या बोला? 10th में he was an average student. Even 11th 12th में he was not a excelling student, but still he has qualified CA. आज बहुत बड़ी पोजीशन पे वो बहुत बड़े औहदे पे बैठा है. तो अगर आप लोग ये सोच रहे हैं कि सर CA हमारे बस की नहीं है, CS हमारे बस की नहीं है, क्यों? क्योंकि हमारे 10th में कम मार्क्स आए हैं, 12th में कम मार्क्स आए हैं, ऐसा सोचना बिल्कुल छोड़ दो आज के बाद, क्योंकि हो सकता है कल तुम मेरे सामने बैठे हो, अमित की जगह एक इंटरव्यू मुझे दे रहे हैं, तो बिल्कुल छोड़ दो ये चीज सोचनी मार्क्स कम है इसकी वजह से हम कोई बड़ा कोई कोर्स नहीं कर पाएंगे, हम एवरेज स्टूडेंट हैं और हम एवरेज ही रह जाएंगे. नहीं, तुम एवरेज नहीं रहो.
So intelligence doesn't matter in this case, factually speaking. It's all about the hard work, right? People used to say smart work, but I would say the background of the smart work is nothing but a hard work. If you know hard work, you can justify your path, you can make your path yourself. That will lead to the smart work, right? But hard work is necessary. Intelligence can fail, but hard work never fails.
Perfect. That is an amazing quote from Amit, guys. Intelligence can fail, but hard work cannot. और अमित, तुम्हारे हार्डवर्क का ही शायद ये एक सबूत है कि आगे चल के तुमने आर्टिकलशिप ज्वाइन करी इन वन ऑफ द बिग फोर्स. आई मीन, जहाँ जाने के लिए लोग तरसते हैं, जहाँ जाने के लिए प्रॉब्ली बहुत बड़ी बड़ी अप्रोचेस लगाई जाती हैं, तो व्हाई बिग फोर्स?
So as I said, Nikkhil, I was a very dumb student, right? Touchwood in 2006. And let me take a step back, right? What has happened? I qualified 12th class in 2002. That was the first year in which I've crossed 60 plus, 65 plus. I got 82% marks in 12th class. I got the admission in Delhi University regular college, Keshav Mahavidyalaya College. Right. So since from the very beginning, first year, I started working hard, right? And on an average basis, till the end of third year, I got somewhere 67% as an average marks, which is a good marks, which is considered from the Delhi University perspective, BCom honors, right? So I have entered into the foundation course when I entered into my college.
Correct.
Right. So because my father asked me to do this course.
Correct.
Right. But in the first year, I got very poor marks. I got only 50% marks. Right. Considering the fact that I worked hard more than the 12th hard work which I have done. Right. But still, I got very poor marks in the first year. Then I was like frustrated, depressed. Everything has happened with me at that point in time, right? So then father asked me, boss, this is not your cup of tea, right? You just do the graduate and then we will look for your job and further aspect, right? Then I was forced to quit because otherwise my father told me, if you don't quit, then you will lose your commerce as well. Right, so I was forced to quit because even I was not having that level of confidence in myself, right, that I can do this particular task of CA qualification. So ironically, I had to drop CA in the first year.
Oh.
Right, in the second year itself, I started working hard very quickly. There were 4 students in my class who have qualified P2, which is Inter, along with second year numbers, right? Along with second year, they have cleared P2. They have cleared Inter examination. That was a shocking moment for me, right? I thought, boss, how is it possible? These 4 people, how they've cleared? And I was forced to drop. Right? Then I started thinking, okay, no problem. In the third year, I started working again hard. In the second year, I got very good marks, 70% plus marks in the second year. That's a wonderful score. In the third year, I started working hard very beginning, and in the third year, I got to know that there is a scheme of ICI that if a student scores 50% or more in the entire BCom honors graduation,
Correct.
then he is not supposed to give P1, which is
Correct.
foundation. He
Correct.
can appear directly in the inter-examination. Then I thought this is a wonderful scheme for
Absolutely.
me. Right? Then I started preparing for the third year along with CA. Right? Then I cleared my graduation with very good percentage, 67% in average. And within the next 6 months, I have cleared in 2000, if I'm not wrong, March 2006 or April 2006. In the November, I was enrolled for CA inter-examination 2006. Right? That was the starting point. I have got only 5 months to start, to prepare and to conclude.
Intermediate. Wow.
Right? 23rd May 2006, I remember I had a first class of accountancy. Right? And those 4.5 or 5 months, I don't know when the sun has risen and when the lights off, struggling, reading, studying and everything. Perfect. Right? I was not aware of the outside life. And in November I appeared for my P2. In January I got the result, and at that point in time, luckily it happened that I was in Vaishno Devi. Right? It was not planned, but suddenly something has happened that my one of my friend asked me that let's go there. I said yes, okay. And we have planned for 11th of January 2007. And at that point in time, result was supposed to came out on the day 17th January 2007. But suddenly, I don't know what has happened at that point in time. That timelines has been preponed by ICI, and then I came to know the result is coming out on 11th of January 2007. And when I reached Katra, on the same day, I got a call from my father because he was in the institute. Right, so he called me, boss, तुम्हारा clear हो गया.
Wow, wonderful.
Right, so that was a
happy
moment which
moment.
I could not explain right in front of anyone. That was a turning point, right?
Perfect.
The person who have never scored more than 60% in 10th, 11th and past period, first time 82% marks, graduation dropped out in CA.
Wow.
Right? I have cleared in 4.5 or 5 months in CA inter, I would say.
Perfect. What an inspiration, guys. Really a success story, a story from nowhere to somewhere. And if you are at this point in time nowhere, do not get demotivated. So Amit, now we are eagerly wanting to hear your Big Four story.
Okay. So January 2007 I have qualified, right? Then I was looking here and there, going to CP, going to here, going to other firms to give my CV, right? And I've seen those cases, Nikkhil. I personally tell you, the person collects the CV and just fold it and dump it in the dustbin. I've seen those scenario in front of my eyes.
Correct.
Right? I personally visited to ICI because my father was in ICI. He knows couple of partners of different firms. He has referred my CV to different people, different partners, and they have said, Jain saab dekhenge. Jain saab dekhenge. Right?
Correct.
So, and that moment, couple of moments happened in front of my eyes as well. I visited ICI with my father. My father said कि यार तू ऑफिस आ जा. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि वो 5 मिनट मिलना चाहेंगे तो तू आ जा. So I used to go there ICI, right? And it has happened. My father has handed over my CV to couple of partners and they just said Jain साहब देखेंगे. Right? So आज दिन तक वो मेरी आंखों के सामने से जाता नहीं है वो वाला scenario.
Correct.
Right? So then, luckily I don't know what has happened. First I got a call from EY. Right? I got selected in 2007 from EY. Then I also got a call from PwC and KPMG. Right? I was not able to clear PwC, but I have cleared KPMG interview. One of the senior partner took the final round and he asked me which area you want to go. Whether it's stat audit, whether it's tax audit, whether it's tax, what do you want to do? Now I'm confused. Right? At that point in time, I was confused because I don't know what is stat audit.
Exactly.
I don't know what is tax audit.
Correct.
I don't know what is tax. But at that point in time, I had a very good inclination towards tax. Right? So then I said, sir, I want to go in tax. So he said, but he was a partner from audit background. So he said, tax or tax audit. So I was not aware of the fact what is the difference between these two. Then he asked me, then I told him, sir, I want to do audit as well as tax. So he asked me, boss, if you select tax audit, if you select stat audit, you can do tax and you can do audit as well. So I thought this is a better option as compared to tax, right? I was not aware what is tax, I was not aware what is tax audit, I was not aware what is stat audit, right? Then I selected audit.
Perfect.
So जैसे कई बार कहते हैं ना, things अपने आप built up
होती जाती हैं. Correct.
That was happened in my scenario because my background was humble family background, right? My father was in ICI. He was never in audit. He has never done an audit. But my grandfather is from the CAG. He retired from the CAG officer. Okay. Right? But उनका audit criteria is different. Right? हमारा audit criteria is different.
Correct.
So I said stat audit. Right? So stat audit में आ गए. Right? I was not aware what is tax, but inclination is towards tax. Right? So this is how I got the entry in the Big Four.
Perfect.
Right? But even I was not aware of that, which stream I should choose. Right? But still I selected audit. So I have been into audit at that point in time. And when I've cleared after 2 years down the line, 2009, one of my friend has shifted from audit to tax. Then I realized, I should do something similar to that, to do that, because tax is ultimately an inclination from my side. Then that my friend has devoted 1 year in the tax. Right? So then I met him. Then I asked him that what to do. How is your journey going on in tax? Then he said one single statement. I am enjoying, but यहाँ पर क्या होता है? यहाँ पे we need to give a training to lots of people.
Correct.
In KPMG, and in front of you, when you were delivering training, you are delivering those kind of trainings. There are 20, 30 team members, 50 team members sitting in front of you, and you need to explain those things as you are a master of that particular subject.
Absolutely.
Right, and they have a leverage to ask question. Then I thought it's better to be in audit, never to go in tax. It's better, right? So that journey continues until now.
Correct. Perfect, guys. तो सबसे पहले तो ये जो मिथ्स है ना, बिग फोर में सिर्फ अप्रोच से ही हो सकता है. अगर आपकी रैंक नहीं है तो बिग फोर आपको कभी भी नहीं लेगा, इंटरव्यू के लिए भी कॉल नहीं करेगा. इंटरव्यू क्लियर करने के लिए योर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स एंड योर इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग स्किल्स शुड बी एट द मैक्स. ये सब जो मिथ्स हैं, ये सब सिर्फ मिथ्स हैं. अगर आप में जज्बा है, अगर आप में जोश है, अगर आप में एक सही एटीट्यूड है, बिग फोर्स आर मोर देन ओके इन वेलकमिंग यू. व्हाई ओनली बिग फोर्स? जो टॉप 10, टॉप 20 सीए फर्म्स हैं, दे आर ऑल इक्वल, और वो सब आपको एक अमेजिंग ब्रीडिंग ग्राउंड देने के लिए रेडी हैं, जहां से आप अपने करियर को किक स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. सो अमित, पास्ट से अब आ जाते हैं प्रेजेंट पे. डायरेक्टर इन वन ऑफ द बिग फोर्स इन एन अकाउंटिंग एडवाइजरी रोल. तो स्टूडेंट्स सभी सीए, फ्यूचर सीएज, करंट सीए सभी जानना चाहते हैं, व्हाट इज दिस रोल इन AS अकाउंटिंग एडवाइजरी. बेसिकली व्हाट इज दिस रोल, इसका फ्यूचर क्या है, और इसको अगर हमें एज अ करियर परस्यू करना है तो हमें किन चीजों पे ज्यादा ध्यान देना चाहिए.
So guys, first of all I would like to tell that IndAS is only Indian accounting standard.
Correct.
It is a replica of IFRS in Indian version. Right? Replica means that globally we are following IFRS, which is International Financial Reporting Standard, which has been adopted by almost all the countries across the globe. So these IndAS are nothing but a replica of IFRS, which we have carried forward in India in the form of IndAS. Right? So first of all, if a person wants to build a career in IndAS, right? So that is a very, very good option. Right? I tell you why. So I tell you the journey of these IndAS, what has happened in India. So in India, we have adopted these IndAS, Indian Accounting Standard, in the year 16 and 17. Earlier,
Correct.
It was supposed to come up in India in the year 2011, but it has been carried forward, deferred because of multiple reasons, and we have adopted in the year 16 and 17.
Correct.
Right? So when we have adopted in the year 16-17, so we have practically applied, Indian Chartered Accountants have practically applied these standards to the Indian companies, right? Whether in the form of consultant, auditor, as an employee of the company. So we have applied. Not only we have applied, we have successfully applied in the year 2017.
Correct.
And we have faced lots of challenges, Nikhil, I tell you, we have faced lots of challenges from the practical aspect perspective. Why challenges? Because in days it was a first time implementation in India across the country.
Correct.
Right? We were not having much guidance, much precedence in India. Right? We need to we have to dependent on the IFRS committee, which is called International Accounting Standard Board. Right? So in India we have applied all those standards, and over the journey of last 6-7 years, we have learned so much things. Then today, if I'm talking to my counterparts in other country, I realize that I'm having a better knowledge, better skills in terms of IFRS as compared to those people. Why? Because we have applied Ind AS, we have seen the transition journey from the old Indian accounting gap to a new gap, to the different companies, maybe telecom sector, manufacturing sector, travel sector, food industry, restaurant industry, and other sector. Manufacturing sector is one of the good example, right? So we have seen those journey. And this is the first step where we need to put focus that what is the journey, right? In CA final course, there is the entire accounting is based on Ind AS, right? Even I have seen that in the inter examination, certain aspects of the Ind AS have been included as a part of the curriculum, right? In India, any company, right, who is having a net worth of 250 crores or more, Ind AS is mandatorily applicable.
Correct.
Right? And any company can adopt voluntarily as well. So first of all, the company's accounts needs to be prepared, right? Financial statement needs to be prepared. Only then the tax aspect will come into the picture.
Correct.
One is the accounting, one is the preparation of the financial statement, only the tax comes into the picture, right? So if a person goes or opts for a tax, he has to also understand what is accounting, right? If he or she doesn't understand accounting, he cannot compute tax.
Correct.
Right? Tax is Income Tax Act 1961 and ICDS Income Computation Disclosure Standards, right? So in order to understand or applying these standards or these guidance, a person has to have good understanding on the accounting aspect as well, right? So it cannot be possible that you are applying tax accounting standards or tax guidance without understanding accounting, right? So these are dependent actually. So person should have a good knowledge on Ind AS as well as some knowledge of the old Indian GAAP, right? Because that are basic. We are reading old Indian GAAP since our class 11th, which is accrual method of accounting, basic concept, going concern, materiality, all those stuff, right? So from the future perspective, Ind AS is a bright future for the students. Why? First of all, if you have understood Ind AS, that means you have understood IFRS.
Correct.
If you have understood IFRS, I would say 80 or 90% you have understood US GAAP. What is US GAAP? The US GAAP is only applicable for the US companies incorporated in US. And for the rest of the world, we are applying IFRS. So if a person has a good understanding, good knowledge on Ind AS, he can visit anywhere in the entire globe. From the perspective of job, from the perspective of the settlement.
Wow.
Right? And
big advantage.
Lots of literature, guidance, practical aspect, videos, teachers, and lots of material are available at the institute site, YouTube, and here and there as well. Right? So this is one of the brightest area, I would say, from the student perspective where the people can think of.
Wow. So yes guys, a very deep insight into this particular field which we think is just limited to accounting. Accounting ही तो है यार. नहीं, ये सिर्फ accounting नहीं है. ये तो एक इकोनॉमी का बेसिक ढांचे का बेसिक प्लेटफॉर्म है, फाउंडेशन है. तो ये सिर्फ इकोनॉमी नहीं है. एंड जैसा कि अमित ने बताया, ग्लोबली यू हैव जॉब्स फॉर इट. सो टैक्सेशन जो इंडिया का है वो यूएस में नहीं चलता, बेकार है. इंडिया से आप बाहर जाओगे वहाँ के लिए इंडिया का टैक्सेशन बेकार है. बट ये एक ऐसी सर्विस है, ये एक ऐसी सर्विस लाइन है जो ग्लोबली इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंस और रेलेवेंस रखती है. सो येस, इफ यू वांट टू परस्यू अ गुड करियर इन CA after qualifying as CA, this can be your preferred choice. So before we end, Amit, कोई 3 टिप्स जो तुम अगर मान लो 20 साल के अमित को देना चाहो, जब तुम 20 इयर्स के थे, कि काश ये तू ऐसे कर ले, ये अमित तू ये चीज़ ठीक नहीं कर रहा है, ऐसे कर ले, कोई ऐसी 3 टिप्स जो तुम अपने 20 इयर्स सेल्फ को देना चाहते हो?
First is confidence on yourself, right? Because that is absolutely required when you are discussing anything with any person, when you are sitting in front of 4 people, when you are communicating your voice to your clients and XYZ, right? So you should have the confidence in yourself. When I deliver training to any session, right? Earlier I have got very bad feedback, very bad remarks, observation, but over the period I have improved, right? So one thing I have realized over the last 10 years, that you should have the confidence in yourself. Nobody knows better than you. Keep yourself telling the statement, nobody knows better than you. That will give the power and confidence, right? This is one. Second is discipline, right? Discipline is very much required. Discipline is not only in respect of your profession, discipline is also in respect of your health.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So ultimately, if you look at journey of a chartered accountant or CMA student in India, till the age of 18, we are struggling with 12th class. Then
Correct.
we are struggling with commerce or a graduation. Right? Then we are going into the scenario of professional degree acquisition or acquiring the professional degree knowledge and all those stuff. Right? So till the age of 25, 26, we are struggling. We
Correct.
have never thought about in terms of our health. Health is the only thing which take you forward in life.
Correct.
Which I've actually realized when I left KPMG in 2013. Right? I used to do lots of bodybuilding and all those stuff. Right? But that has left when I was doing my articleship, when I qualified in KPMG. Right? But after that, I got the time. I thought that why I have left this so much important thing in my life. Right? Then I continue again, and since then I'm continuing focus on my health. I'm playing tennis. I'm doing exercise on daily basis.
Correct.
That is very much required if you want to continue in life, because in today's world, you know what we are eating, right? Fast food, fast life, stress, lots of things. I think we should focus on our health. And I think one is confidence, health, and patience in life, satisfaction. Whatever you are learning, right? Keep doing hard work, but have patience in life, right? Everything will come back to you. I have read one quote, KPMG quote. So I've read, give the world the best you have, the best will come back to you.
Absolutely.
Right? So have patience in life. These are the three rules which I generally follow. And I would suggest, guys, if you can follow these rules, you will reach a different tangent.
Perfect. So yes, guys, had a amazing session. और पता है मन ही नहीं कर रहा ये इंटरव्यू खत्म करने का, but the clock is ticking and you know the session was really good. ना केवल स्टडीज पर्सपेक्टिव से, ना केवल प्रोफेशनल फ्रंट पे, बट आई एम वेरी श्योर इस सेशन में आपको पर्सनल फ्रंट पे भी बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला होगा. बहुत सारी नई चीज़ें आपने इस वाले सेशन में ज़रूर सीखी होंगी. और हाँ, अगर आपके स्टिल कुछ क्वेश्चंस रिमेनिंग हैं, डू कमेंट इन द कमेंट सेक्शन बिलो एंड आई विल रिक्वेस्ट अमित टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू योर क्वेश्चंस. और हमारी टीम कोशिश करेगी आपको जवाब देने का. लेकिन हाँ, जो टिप्स इस वाले सेशन में आपको मिली हैं वो ज़रूर ध्यान रखना, उनको एकदम गांठ बांध के रखना पूरे जीवन में. वो टिप्स आपको बहुत ज़्यादा यूजफुल रहेंगी डेफिनेटली, और आप भी सक्सेस की ऊंचाइयों को चढ़ते चले जाओगे. अमित, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर टेकिंग आउट टाइम. मेरी पूरी ऑडियंस के लिए, सब CMA, CS, CMA, MBA जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स इस समय इस इंटरव्यू को देख रहे हैं, आई एम श्योर उनके लिए बहुत बड़ा एक रिवॉर्डिंग इंटरव्यू है. सो थैंक यू सो मच फ्रॉम द बॉटम ऑफ ऑल ऑफ आवर्स हार्ट. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So guys, ये था आज का सेशन विद CA अमित जैन, डायरेक्टर विद अर्न्स्ट एंड यंग. ऐसे और सेशन लेके डेफिनेटली आता रहूंगा आपके लिए. डू हिट दैट लाइक बटन, और हाँ, वीडियो को जरूर शेयर करना अपने सारे फ्रेंड्स के साथ अगर आपको अच्छी लगी हो तो. एंड हाँ, इफ यू आर न्यू टू द चैनल, डू हिट दैट सब्सक्राइब बटन. ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट एंड हैप्पी स्टडिंग.